wish you were here by my side. Your song in my ear, your hand on my thigh. The highway is clear, unlike my mind. I'm dreaming as I drive. I've been inside my own head for days, but this fantasy is keeping me awake. I wanna get lost in the night, stuck at a road stop neither of us like. Eat till we top, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late to try. Tell me it's not too late. We could see the world, you and I. There's no place on this earth that isn't better with your hand in mine. It's taken me way too long to realize, and now I'm dreaming as I drive. I've been inside my own head for days, watching you kiss all my breath away. Getting tired of the twists and the turns we take, but at least this fantasy is keeping me awake. Yeah, I wanna get lost in the night, stuck in a small town nobody can find. Eat till we drop, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep in your arms, make up for lost time. Tell me it's not too late to try. Tell me it's not too late. It's not too late. I know we made mistakes and messed up the navigation, but let's find another way then, because I want you in my life. Where do you wanna go? I promise we'll take it slow, get lost on all the back roads. Oh, just tell me we can try. In the night, stuck at a road stop, neither of us like it. Till we drop, laugh till we cry. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost and miss the signs. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late. I wanna get lost in the night, stuck at a road stop, neither of us like it. Lost with you, it's not too late. Lost with you. I never liked adventure, but you changed my mind. Sleep with the stars, lose track of time. Tell me it's not too late.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the TTRPG Theater. My name is Rob, otherwise known as Phantom NJ, and it is another Thursday. It is Thursday here in northern New Jersey, where yesterday it was anywhere between 75 and 80 degrees, and it was about, 58 and blustery this morning. And now it's, snow showers. Not really snowing per se, but there is precipitation out there. It's really hitting really more as rain, but you can see it kind of as tiny flakes when it's coming down. So yeah, we're in the middle of our fall spring. I don't trust anything resembling spring until April 1st at least, because there's always the possibility that it's going to turn back into this kind of cold, miserable nonsense. Thankfully, this apparently isn't going to last very long. It's supposed to get warmer by the weekend and then going to get colder as we head to next Wednesday, where I'll be getting on a flight and going to Lake Geneva for GaryCon, in case you missed it, because if you've been hiding under a tree somewhere or you haven't been paying attention to the stream. And, we all know that you're paying attention to the stream because I see you all every week, and it's really, really awesome. Yeah. So, the weather is up and down. Thankfully, the weather in Lake Geneva next week looks like it's going to be decent. It's going to be the same type of Cool, not overly cold when when I arrive on Wednesday. But it looks like the temperature is going to be in the high 40s, low 50s, maybe even a little bit higher than that. Uh, and I mean, I'm going to be inside the vast majority of the time, so I'm not going to care. It's just a question of, am I hanging inside the door waiting for the trolley to come to pick me up from my room to head to the Grand for the games. In the mornings, probably yes. In the evenings, I'm probably not going to be too concerned about it. It'll probably, it should be reasonable temperatures, and it's all going to be good. It's going to be so good. But yeah, no, we've got this false New Jersey spring. It happens every single year. I remember, Easter, the date for this Easter Sunday varies from year to year because it does follow a lunar schedule. But it's I mean, there have been times when it snowed on Easter Sunday, so. And I know it snowed at least once on Easter Sunday while it was in April, which is not always the case. Sometimes it's in late March. This year, I believe it's also, I think this year is actually, the first or second week of April, actually. It's kind of late this year. Ooh, but anyway, here we are. It is Thursday, and this stream will not be, again, it's going to be another week where we don't go the full hour, because I will be joining Jay Lord Gazumba at we'll be rating in whenever he goes live, probably 6:45, maybe 10 of, as I will be playing tonight, the second of a two-parter. Hey, Brother Phantom, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Where I'll be playing my original tune in his campaign, Durgrim Flintblade, who is, I think he's still Fighter 8, Thief 9. I don't think he's reached Thief 10 yet. I should probably download the latest update of the character sheet to find out. That'd be useful. I can't see why. Do I have the latest? I thought he had sent it to me. Huh. All right. I will have to ask him for the latest because I don't think, it honestly may not have changed from last week because I don't think he was making any changes to our experience until this session's over. So I'll double check on that beforehand. But at last check, he was Fighter 8, Thief 9, which is really cool in one respect. It's actually kind of being a level 8 on the fighter table. Excuse me. Has made up for some really average rolls. There have been times when I've rolled like a 6 or a 7 on the die. And then with my, with the bonuses, especially when there's like a prayer, going out or a bless or whatever. And, anything else that there might be. And suddenly he's hitting anyway because, level 8 on the fighter table makes things pretty easy to hit, even for the decent ones. It has certainly made it a lot more interesting. Sometimes I feel apologetic because I'm like, I find out that I need like a 7 to hit, and it's like, okay, I've rolled 4 rolls, none of them have hit 10 on the die and hit all the time. It's like, all right, well, okay. It was a road to get there. The characters put in the time, so I'm not going to complain too much about it, or I'm not going to worry too much about it. But yeah, it gets kinds of weird sometimes, where it's like truly average dice rolling still hit things. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, there is, we've got our game tonight. I know. I'm pretty sure he's. I know I've got Myriad X. Show Me the Dice is playing. Mike Disney is playing. Korg is playing with us, which is going to be cool. That should add a whole lot of zaniness to the game. And yeah, gonna be a fun time. There may or may not be a dragon. We'll see. There is a dragon. We may or may not be TPK'd. Oh boy, these things happen. But then tomorrow night is Friday Night Crusades. We will have Friday Night Crusades in Discord from 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. Again, it is the lowest bar to entry of any game you will ever be in. Do you have the ability to roll up a character? And the book that you're going to use is still free on Trollord's site. All you have to do is basically be able to roll up a CNC character and be able to communicate on Discord. You need to be able to listen in. It helps if you talk. Honestly, it really is useful if you can talk on Discord, just because it speeds things up. I don't care if you use physical dice or digital dice. There is no attendance requirement whatsoever. Whenever you can get there, for however long you can stay, and whichever Fridays you can make, you're in. That's it. You show up, you go. We hand wave a lot of that stuff, so to make it so that people don't have to worry about, I can only be here for so long, or I'm going to be 2 hours late, and for a 3-hour game, it doesn't matter. Just show up. You can also show up to listen in if you want to. But seriously, we'd love to have you. We love having more players. It's always fun. And it's been a good game. I've been enjoying this group. I always enjoy my players, and I enjoy the fact that how they show up week after week, and it really feels good as a castle keeper, as a GM, especially since, again, there's no attendance requirement. There's nothing saying they have to be there every week, so they show up anyway, and it feels good. And then the weekend comes, and then there's Saturday and Sunday, and there's going to be a whole lot of laundry and hopefully some packing, and going with the theme of so much to do, so little time. I still haven't figured out what I'm bringing with me to GaryCon. Hey, Savage Splendor, 9 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good evening. But yeah, we're less than a week out. As a matter of fact, by this point, I will have already. I will have already run a session and played in a session, and yesterday is a week to badge day, so the con will be in full swing at this point, and it's wild. It's snuck up. Touch Feeble, good to see you. Welcome. But yeah, trying to figure out. We do actually. That's a good point, Savage. We do have a giveaway going on. Exclamation point ticket to enter. And let me verify some stuff. All right, cool. Yep, you're in. Exclamation point ticket to enter. $10 gift card for Trollord Games toward any digital product off their site. TLG is a sponsor of this channel, or right now is the sponsor of this channel. Makers of Castle and Crusades, Amazing Adventures, and other fine products. What was I saying? Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I need to bring with me. What am I most looking forward to? Ooh. So, I always love running my games, and I love the fact that so many people I know are going to be in my 3 games. I am really looking forward to running a Tarot Gygax session. It's been 35 years since I've run a 1E game of any type. It's been it's got to be at least 25 years since the last time I ran a 2E session. So, I mean, I've enjoyed running Castles and Crusades because it gives me that old feel, but going back and running the game, the type of game that I started off in, I'm also nervous about it because, again, it's been that long since I've run that type of game. I know it's going to come back to me, and I've been, peeking at stuff and trying to get my, get my stuff all set up so that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's something. Um, I have some things that I need to. Actually, that's now I think about it, that's one of the things I need to make sure that I'm on top of this weekend is having the things that I need to be able to run a 1E session properly. Because there is the question of making sure that people are able to hit people, knowing when people hit something, knowing when they missed, the fact, different classes and such. Hey, Kern, good to see you. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm also looking forward to playing in the Tower Gygax games. I always enjoy it. And plus, a lot of the people that I know, especially in the Greyhawk community, hang out with at the Tower Gygax tables. So it'll be a chance to spend a lot more time with people that. It's one of the things that didn't quite go as planned last year. I kind of lost after the first day or two. Yes, by the time Thursday was done, I lost track of where everybody was, and it's a bit unfortunate. If I didn't have a Tower Gygax session going on, I didn't quite realize that everyone was going to be there so often, and that's a bit on me. So I'm looking forward to spending more time with people, and of course, there's always there's people that are going to be there that I get to see once a year. This year, I've been fortunate in the fact that so many people came to Page this year. So I got to see a number of people that I normally only see at GaryCon. And then even at GaryCon, I get to see them for about 15, 20 minutes. So, getting to hang out with even more of the people that I know in the community, spending time with them, whether it's just, having a drink, playing some games, maybe a pickup game, I'm looking forward to it all. It's a great trip for me. It's easy. Last weekend you had a con. You had a con where you're ready to do 2 games. One was see. Oh man, that hurts my soul. Touch of Evil. That hurts my soul. Ay. I admit I've been blessed. The community has shown up in full force. No prior registrations system. That's harsh. That's how do you run a con with no way of registering ahead of time? I don't understand that. That's just asking for your GMs to try to basically do all the work for you. Hey, Drag here, good to see you. I've been lucky in that my games have always filled up, at least on in terms of the scheduler, but now as the years have gone on and I've met and played with more people in the community, my games have been filling up faster. Like the last 2 years, my games have been completely full within a couple of hours of the silver badge. When the silver badges tickets open and the last of the seats become available, my games are sold out. I've never had to worry. I think my Thursday game. Scottish Jeff was supposed to be playing, and unfortunately, he had a very valid reason why he needed to step out of that game. So I think there's one person on a waiting list who I don't know if they've caught on that the spot's available, but but otherwise I have players not only there, but I have players on the waiting list, which is which is wild to me. But it's very cool. I have not had to worry about that. So, and I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, granted, a pre-registration doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to have people sign up anyway. I say this because at Page, not this past Page, but the year before for Page, Page 2, I signed up for an Amazing Adventures game run by someone who's pretty well, who's a well-known DM. She's a well-known DM in the or Castle Keeper or Chronicle Keeper for Amazing Adventures anyway. I was the only player. They had 8 slots. I was the only player. And hell, Jay had posted a BattleTech game for Page 2, and he ended up having to switch it over to AD&D because I was the only one who had signed up for BattleTech, which boggles my mind. I mean, he brings the terrain, especially for Page, where he can bring whatever he needs to bring. It's you can drive there. Nobody signed up for the BattleTech game, so he eventually changed to AD&D, and it filled up, and so it sucks. I'm sorry. That really sucks that you were ready to you had 2 games ready to go, and neither one of them happened. Got to be a creep and drop air tags on people. Yeah, there are many reasons why I don't want to be doing that. Oh man, that's funny. But yes, very funny, but very creepy. Yes, indeed. But in addition, I do have to prep for the 1E game. Make sure that I have like printouts of the charts and tables that I need. I think that's the biggest thing I need to worry about. Savage. I mean, yeah. What I love about GaryCon is the fact that you don't pay for the individual games. Once you've got your badge, you can sign up for whatever is available, and it's just you just have to basically beat everyone to it. Page, I was able to play. Page, I got to play, and it helped that I knew because I got to play Cyberpunk finally. I think we did. I don't remember if it was Red or 2077 or what it was, but played Cyberpunk. But that was with Kurt and Creep and Bones. So I knew it was going to be a good time. But Page, you also pay for the individual games. So I didn't, I didn't go as deep as things that I would normally would, because you don't know what you're going to get. You hope. But we're not going to, don't get me off on a rant on Page. I don't need to be ranting about that again. I've ranted about that enough for now. GaryCon, last year at GaryCon, if you're looking for a GaryCon, if you're looking for something new and different, Page Rage. I need to trademark that. Oh man. Yeah, nope. I can feel it coming, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm stopping myself. If you have space at GaryCon, and you're looking for something really new to try and play, by someone who is not only runs the game but wrote the game, Dungeon Mr. Ty is running sessions. I want to say they're taking place at the Chalet. So you might, they're not at the Grand. I think you have to take the trolley over to the Chalet. But he is running New of Arden. It's a D4 based game. It's a very exploration based game. It is really cool. If you're looking for something different, this is it. It doesn't get much more different in terms of a role playing game. Genre probably falls in the realm of science fiction. I get science fiction, science fantasy. It's really hard to define. But it's a fantastic game. I'm going to admit the fact that I players are very happy with D4s last night. As long as they don't step on them. I mean, that's the only concern about D4s. Don't step on them. But New of Arden, I actually have a credit as one of the play testers for New of Arden in the book. Very unhappy with D4s last night. Oh, that's a different story altogether then. But yeah, New of Arden, Nuovarden. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. You don't so much have character classes as they don't even call them species. Oh God, what is? It's like different I think they're referred to as cultures, but it's different. There are different things, aspects personified. Like there's one of music and or sound personified. It's a really cool system. So if you do have space and if he has slots available, check out Dungeon Mister Ty at Gary Con. You can tell him I sent you. He'll appreciate that. He knows that I'm a big fan. Like I said, I got to play it early on, and I got to play last year. Hey Jay, good to see you. 31 months. Wow. That is awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate it. Hey, Fosco, how are you doing, sir? And reminder, we will be raiding into Lord Gazumbo when he goes live, as I will be playing in tonight's session. It is part 2 of the 2-week, thing for where I will be playing Durgrim Flintblade, Fighter 8, Thief 9. And we're gonna see how they do and whether there are any dwarves left to save by the end of this. But yeah, it's New of Arden's a great game. I haven't signed up other than for some Tower Gygax sessions. I haven't signed up for anything this year in terms of player. I think I signed up for 2 Tower Gygax sessions as a player. That's about it. At least one. I would note that there are 2 dwarves in our party, Jay. So we'll see how that goes. Oh man. But yeah, I haven't signed up to as far as there are. Well, first of all, there are some games that you can just jump into. Like Order of the Owl runs I think it's a 1E game that they run in one of the staircases on one of the landing areas of the staircase. The staircase at the far. Well, yeah, it's at if you've been to Yaricon, you know where the staircase actually is. They're on like the second level. They have a game where you can jump in and out at any given time, and they run it throughout the entire weekend. I've run pickup games in the hall. Dave from Guild Superior has run pickup. I played in a couple of different games with Dave. At Gary Con. There are other people running games and all. It helps when you know people because usually somebody will get bored and they'll want to run a game. I think some people might be running games back at like the hotels and stuff. I don't that part I can't speak to. But yeah, the upper level of outside, outside the gaming rooms. So like outside Evergreen 1, 2, and 3, and whatever the rooms are on the other side. There are tables up and down that hall. Sometimes people just use them to take a break and sit down and relax. But yeah, there are often pickup games at those tables as well. Especially usually especially later in the day, after things have calmed down a bit. And you can also check in the hall, like some of the tables, if there's a card system where if the table has the card holder and there's a green card, that means there is that's supposed to mean there's a seat available. If you want to sit down and play. Obviously, you want to try to do that towards the beginning of the game so you don't disrupt, but you can always go looking around for that. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Can't wait to see you next week. See the both of you next week. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff going on. I haven't really done any of the board games. I don't get me wrong. I like board games. It's not why I go to not why I go to Gary Con though. I want to do role playing games. Board games are fun when you're hanging out with friends and such. Not something. I mean, not something I really want to do at a con. Just not my scene. It's not. It's not why I'm there. I mean, I suppose if I was trying to kill time between things and I didn't have anything else to do, I might play one, but not really what I'm looking for. I think the closest I've come to doing a board game was at Page last year, doing a battle, combat skirmish run by the Greyhawk Grognard himself, Joe Block, using his own combat rule system, doing the Battle of Emerity Meadows. That's cool. That's very, very cool. I mean, and listen, I know board games are very popular, tend to be very popular at cons. Some of them will have a selection of them that you can just pull one down and play. It's just, for me, that's something I want to do, like at a friend's house, just hanging out, where we're not looking to do anything really too serious and just enjoy a game. To me, for a con, I want to do some TTRPGs, especially stuff I haven't done before. And that's the thing. That's the other reason I haven't signed up for anything, is I've hit a lot of stuff on my bucket list for cons for in the last few years. I got to play in a Stefan Pokorny game, which was really cool, with all the Dwarven Forge terrain, a massive Dwarven Forge terrain setup, which was amazing. I've gotten to play at Page. I got to play in one of Jay's games live. So actually, I got to do that at Founders and Legends too. A few years back. I can say I've done that. I got to play Vampire the Masquerade last year, for the first time, and B. Dave Walters was the GM for that game, which was freaking amazing. Hey Asher, good to see you. I got to play at Page. I got to play in a Carlos Lysing game in person, which was awesome. I'd been able to play, I think at Virtual Greyhawk Con in one of his sessions, but playing in person with him was fantastic. I've hit I've hit so many of the different targets. At Page this year, I got to play Cyberpunk. Last year at Gary Con, I played Newvarden in person with Tim. The players in the table, I forgot who the fourth player was, but two of the other players were Scottish Jeff and Coco Bunny, which was really cool. Sid Vicious, nice. Our game was hit back during like the Holy Roman Empire period, which was kind of wild. It made for a lot of fun, great historical aspect to it, which I was able to lean into heavily. because it's kind of my jam. So we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with that session. But yeah, I in addition to getting ready for the 1E stuff that I need to bring with me, in terms of making sure that I've got, if I don't have I'm probably going to have the books with me. I know myself well enough that I will probably not feel comfortable unless I have like my DM's guide with me. Even if it does make me a little nervous. Nice. What are you doing in Chicago? I'll be flying past Chicago on my way to O'Hare, but that'll be Wednesday. I know you've told. Oh, that's right, visiting the in-laws. Yeah, right. I remember you telling me that now. So I'll be flying past Chicago, right into O'Hare, and then just basically navigating O'Hare to get myself out of there, and then it is about a 1 hour drive from O'Hare to Lake Geneva. 4 o'clock, Gold Badge is open. I will be online, at the start. Gotcha. Okay. I know the whole extended family thing well. I have never actually been to Chicago proper. I need to rectify that at some point, but not on this trip. I have come to the realization that if flying ever became problematic, I could drive to GaryCon. I thought it was a greater distance than it is, but it is actually a shorter drive than the one that I used to make yearly down to the Nashville area by about some 30 miles, which kind of shocked me. Nice. Put down some anarchs. Amtrak. Amtrak to where? Amtrak would probably take me 22 hours to get to GaryCon. And I would still probably need to rent a car after that anyway. Yeah, I mean, in the only there is no there. I mean, first of all, we don't really have high speed rail. We have pseudo high speed rail. If you're on the East Coast, you've got the Acela Express going from Boston down to Washington D.C. And having taken high speed rail in Italy, going from Venice to Rome, Jay, I've told you I'm flying first class as well. And it has nothing to do with being pretentious. It's actually ends up being a no cost upgrade for me. Because of the fact that it is a 2 hour flight, and I need to check 2 bags. It'd be one thing if I wasn't if I was taking basically either just one carry-on, or if I was just taking a carry-on, or just taking having a single check bag. It'd be a little more of a cost, but the difference in price from having to check a bag or two versus having, paying for first class, where I get 2 checked bags the 2 checked bags are included. I think it might be $15 or $25 more for the flight. That's an easy call. I get to sit in a more comfortable seat with less worries about where my bag is going to be, and so on and so forth. I'm going to do that every time. Check bags are freaking expensive, so I yeah, it's that ooh, Oakland or Omaha. Oof. But like I said, I mean the Acela Express going from I've taken the Acela Express from Newark, New Jersey down to Washington D.C. and it's cool. It gets you down there in about 2 hours. But it's much faster than a regular train, cuts from the regular train by in about half or so. But compared to real high speed rail, it might as well be standing still. Um, oh goodness. Let me see conversions. Like to give you an idea, the as soon as we got out of the city areas and when it hit the open area, the high speed rail in Venice, from Venice to Rome, was like pinning at 250 kilometers an hour. That's 155 miles an hour. It was flying. It was stupid fast. Um, you know, I think I even had a picture of let me see. I mean, we went from Rome to Venice in about a little less than 4 hours. Hey, Curtis. Checking to see whether or not it says in here what kind of speed we're getting. I have seen them. I have this weekend is the week I'm going to take a hard look at them and go through. I saw the initial set. Um, is there new stuff in the when you sent it the second time, or that was just to make sure that anyone who missed it the first time? Yep, no, it was 155 miles an hour. Yeah, we were flying. Um, so yeah, the Acela Express is not quite. Um, I have to go close to Gary Conbrim tonight, closing the gap. Okay, cool. I will be taking a look this weekend because I need to figure out what I'm bringing with me. I want to bring. I want to make sure that I if there are things that I want to have with me for TOG. I know what I have to figure out what I'm bringing with me for my own games, and then making sure that I have the stuff for the Tower Gygax session. Absolutely will. I appreciate it. Uh, Ash, I'm going to keep teasing you until we can get you to GaryCon because you're the only person in the Righteous Hands who has not made it to GaryCon. Uh, all of them have been in one of my sessions there. I know actually maybe that might be true. I'm not sure Alex is. I don't know if Alex has played in one of my games there yet. I see him. I saw him every year, but um, yeah, I can't wait. It's so close. I can almost feel it's like I've got 3 work days left before GaryCon. So hey, Longshot, good to see you. Just a reminder, we will be raiding over to Jay as soon as he goes live because I am playing on stream tonight. Durgam Flintblade playing in the continuation of last week's Thursday night session. And I mentioned tonight's stream was so much to do, so little time. DM Gifts. Hey, listen, you want to throw Castle Keeper gifts in there too, bro? I won't complain. I won't complain. Just saying. Oh man. Oof. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I would end up probably paying a significant amount in tolls as well. Um, Probably in Pennsylvania, and then and whatever whatever. It's I don't know that I'd want to do it just because it would kind of add to the exhaustion. Um, for me, because of the flight being only 2 hours, the one of the joys of GaryCon is, I live right off of Route 80, so it is literally a straight shot west for me until it's time to head north into Wisconsin. I am I am when I say I'm right off Route 80, it is 2 miles to Route 80 from my house. So I've got 30 something miles of it from 30 anywhere from 30 to 35 miles depending on where I decide to get onto Route 80 here. Um, and then after that, I just have to go. The worst part of that entire drive, honestly, would be, I mean, not counting traffic, is the fact that I have to drive the entire length of the entire width of Pennsylvania. I have to go from one end of Pennsylvania to the other end. So Pennsylvania is kind of like, is it over yet? After that, it's the other states are going to seem small in comparison, like some sort of psychopath. Oh, yeah. I mean, driving Route 80 from one end of Pennsylvania to the other is not fun. It there. I much prefer having to do it when I'm heading down towards my brother who's in the Pittsburgh area, because at least there are things that break up the drive. There are kind of checkpoint and mile markers. When I say mile markers, I'm not talking literal mile markers. I'm just talking things that I can tell that I've made progress other than watching miles count down. Yeah, yeah. I hear that. Um, having been on 90, what do you call it? Having been on 90 in the Albany area, I'm not a fan of that road either necessarily. But yeah, that's the other thing. I've basically taken Route 80 from wherever. There really isn't much on the Pennsylvania side of 80. As soon as you get over, at least on 78, you end up in Easton. But then it's basically driving all the way across the top through into to get to Erie, and then keep heading west. Um, it would be a minimum of 13 hours. It would probably be closer to 14 and a half, 14 and a half, assuming no traffic. Um, Might be, if there's no traffic, I could probably do it in 14. Curtis, it was 80 here yesterday. Today was 35 with snow showers. Oh, I could. I could definitely, I can drive. Listen, I fly through Pennsylvania. But the problem is driving faster when you don't have anything that's giving you a real sign of progress other than mile markers doesn't feel the same. It just feels like you're still just kind of crawling along. Um, it's drive to Garricon 6 hours 47 minutes. Yeah, that is wow. That's actually a little shorter, a little longer than my brother driving to my brother when when he lived southwest of Pittsburgh as opposed to where he lives now, which is just north of Pittsburgh. Actually, the drive to my brother's house changed a bit. But even then, I used to cut time off that all the time. But again, it had more to do with the fact that I had the sense of progress. I knew, I knew I had to feel good about getting to the next step, which kind of urged me forward. When you're on the same road and the view doesn't change. Now, the one big difference, the one thing that's worse than Route 80 all the way from one side of Pennsylvania to the other is taking Interstate 81 south through Virginia. That is 334 miles of the worst drive ever. For no other reason, the fact that the view never changes. The way the road looks to you on that drive, the only time that changes is when you get around the area of Virginia Tech and there's this area where it kind of, the view looks a little different because there's an intersection of multiple interstates and it has a different feel to it. Other than that, you could be anywhere on that road and have absolutely no idea where you were if there were no signs, because it all looks the same. You could drive for 10 miles and it all looks the freaking same. I'm happy that I will never have to do that. I should never have to do that drive again. All right, I'm just waiting for Jay to go live. We do have the giveaway going, exclamation point ticket to enter. We do have a number of people signed up, which is cool. $10 gift card. For Trollord Games, and yeah. But obviously there's going to be no stream next week because I will be at Garricon. If you're looking at Garricon, and I know I've met so many of you in person already, which is awesome. If we have not met in person, please do not hesitate to come up and introduce yourself and let me know who you are. Honestly, there are some people where you may need to introduce yourself again because there's some faces that stick with me, but I am awful with names at times. We could. I choose not to. I want to enjoy my time there. All right, Jay is live, so we are going to get going with the giveaway. I am going to close the giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drawing a winner. Touch of Evil. Congrats. I will get that sent out to you probably after Jay's stream. And thank you everyone for hanging in and hang on for the raid. And those of you who I see at Garricon, I can't wait to see you all real soon. If you're not going to be there, well, hopefully you'll be able to do it sometime in the future, preferably next year, because I'll be there as well. Have a great evening, everyone, and see you all on the flip side.